Welcome back to another episode of the Cryptic Cove. I am your host, the captain himself, Gabe D. And in today's episode, we are going to be discussing how to have custom sounds for your WeakAuras, but also take them a step further is there's a lot of things that get missed that are subtle details that I think will take your WeakAura custom sounds to the next level. So I'm going to talk first on how we set them up, how we do it. If you're already familiar with this, do pay attention towards the end of the video, as I'm going to give a couple of tips that I think will take it just one step further. So let's hop in. I have an icon-based WeakAura. I'm going to be using Force of Nature, which is a 45-second cooldown, as my example here. So what I did is I went ahead and set a cooldown ready event. I have my spell ID in there. Everything is working here. I know this is going to display with the icon when the cooldown is ready. However, we want that sound. So what we're going to go do is we're going to go to the Actions tab, and there's a few different ways to make this happen. I want to go to the Actions tab, and I want it to play a sound. What that means is when the WeakAura is triggered, it's automatically going to do this action. No conditions. It's just going to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go hit play sound right here. And then you're going to go to this little drop down for sound, and at the top is going to be custom. This is where we're going to input our file path, as you can see here, and sound channel is something we're going to discuss after we make sure that the sound is working. Now there is a little bit of prep before we do anything else. So I have my sound recorded. I made something ridiculous just so that we can have a little fun while we do this. I'll let you hear it.
Send in the trees.
Boom. So we're going to send in the trees. Now what we're going to do is I have two file explorers open for Windows. Basically, I have one that's going into my World of Warcraft folder. The other is where I have some custom sounds and things made for WeakAuras. So what we need to do, if you're not familiar with this, by the way, you're just going to open your file explorer. You'll go to your C drive. Then it'll be program files 80x86 for most PCs. And then you will travel to your World of Warcraft folder. Once you are here, you are going to, if you have multiple versions installed, you will have to go to retail. You got to do this either way, but do know there's a few different ones. And if you are trying to make one for classic or a different version, you will have to go to that folder. So for retail, we're going to go ahead and open this. And here we are going to make a folder. You will by default not have a sound folder. Now, there has been some WeakAura issues for a few people lately that I have found doing this the old way, which is putting a custom folder inside of the interface add-ons folder. So on this main screen, if you do not have a sound folder, you are going to right click off screen over here, go hit new folder, and you're going to title this sound or sounds, either way. Just know exactly how it's spelled and capitalized. I'm going to call mine sound. Now you're going to enter that folder, and we are going to create one more new folder. And this one is going to be, for me, I'm just going to put custom with a capital C. Now that that is done, we are going to enter our custom folder. And with our other window of File Explorer, we are going to get the noise that we want to play. In this case, it is Force. I'm just going to Control X, or you can copy, or you can separate these however you want, and then you're going to go back into your custom folder and you're going to paste it. Now this exists within this. There's a couple things you need to be aware of. One, when you save the MP3 file here, make sure you know exactly how it's spelled, capitalized. Every little bit matters, spaces, all of it, as we do have to call this within the WeakAura. Once this is done, a lot of people forget this step. You can leave the File Explorer open, but you have to completely close out of World of Warcraft. All right, we are back. So we are going to open our WeakAuras menu. We're going to go back into the WeakAura, and we're going to go back into the Actions tab. Once this is done, you are going to go to your sound file path, and you're going to go ahead and put the path here. The first folder that we are going to call on is going to be the sound folder, or sounds, whatever you called it. Then you're going to /, not /, and then you're going to type your custom folder. Make sure you are doing your capitalization exactly as what you called those folders, /, and then we are going to call on the specific file. In this case, it was force, no caps, .mp3. Now, before we hit OK or enter or anything, there is a very important piece to note. Once we hit OK, we should hear our specific file play automatically.
Send in the trees.
Now we do, and it's quiet. We can do a few things with that, but I did this a little bit on purpose, and I am playing the annoying WoW music right now on purpose, as if you go into your options and you go to your audio, you can do things like, one, we can cut off music. In fact, we can cut off all noise for right now and just leave our master volume up. This is where taking this custom sound, I think we can elevate this just a little bit more. Say you're in a raid environment or PvP, and you want to make sure that you know that you hear this, and you're someone who's easily distracted by a ton of different things going on, whether it's 80 million swirlies on the ground, your raid leader's yelling at you, you got people fighting back and forth, or it's PvP, everybody's trying to make a call and everything's a very stressful moment. You want to make sure that you hear this distinguished. You can go over here to sound channel, click this tab, and you'll notice, or the drop down, and you notice that you can select specific channels. So if you're someone who loves the music and you want the music on, go for it. You can turn the music up and specifically select this sound channel, and it will play only off of the volume of that. Now, if you're like me and we want to just remove every distraction we can and focus, we are going to select the master channel, because now if we go back into our audio settings, everything else can be muted. But with everything else muted, I'll go ahead and deploy the trees. With everything else muted and our master volume up, it is going to play out of that master channel specifically and only. So with all of the other volume down, you'll notice that even though it was quiet, I can turn up my overall volume on my PC. I can have everything completely distraction free, volume up, and in about 5 seconds, you're going to hear the beautiful audio.
Send in the trees.
Boom. No distractions, nothing else. Very clean, very simple. That is how you're going to take your custom WeakAura sounds and take them to the next level. If you want to see how to do interesting things with custom WeakAura images, let me know. I would be happy to make a video on that as well. And if this has been helpful for you, please consider dropping a like, comment, or subscribing to the channel. We are a small channel, and every little bit helps. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.